Okay, welcome to the Launchpad Podcast. I'm man. All right, man, we got a good show today. Make it all day. I gotta follow that business. So on Facebook, Social Book, and Twitter.
I mean, that's basically it. But you lied about one part. It's not going to be a good show today. It's going to be a bad one. I mean, my list of things to talk about is abysmal. Do you have something good to talk about?
Let's. This is an interesting way for us to make a show, but yeah, yeah. I want to hear what your thought was because you sent me an interesting text, which I think was like a show topic, or you're trying to brag, or you just want to talk about it as a segment. So
I mean, I have notes about the one thing that I texted you about. That'll be fun,
right? So I think we'll do that. I have a couple of what have you been watching? So we can do, and we'll filibuster and I'll make shit up because you don't know. I guess
I did just literally 5 minutes before we got on, finish one of the coolest movies I've seen in a long time. So, all right.
Disney's Frozen.
I mean, I've seen that like 13 times this week. So
yeah.
Anyway, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitters at Launchpad Pod, and our website, launchpadpod.com. Check us out on YouTube. We're handsome there. That's how we do.
But wait, I don't want to false advertise. I do not think I look handsome right now. I spent the whole day lifting and moving things at school and packing up. Then we had a volleyball game. I'm in like gym clothes. I have a bloody scraped knee. I'm covered in sweat. My hair looks stupid even for me.
I mean, I installed 4 ceiling fans today, so
I'll say right now all the ladies are drooling. Do you think you look sloppier than normal? Because I think I look sloppier than normal.
No, I look fine as fuck. I got a shower.
I agree. You install ceiling fans with grace, I guess.
I bring that sex appeal to the ceiling fan industry, baby.
Dude, I brought ballet into volleyball. Like I made that like an extra rule. And then we started playing like if you miss a hit or if the ball bounces or you do something wrong, you can keep it alive by hitting it again and incorporating ballet, which pretty much just turned into the craziest hits and everyone yelling the word ballet. It was
that sounds fantastic.
Anyway, that's what our episode will be about today.
Let's get on with the show.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
All right. Welcome to Launchpad Podcast. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Matt. Ballet.
Matt, we're both fathers. We have young children in our lives. How old is your kid now?
He turned 4 a couple weeks ago.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, he a big boy now. He's going to big boy school.
He a big boy. So he got a job yet? Is he working? You kick him out of the house, get a job? Go to college.
I'm trying to. He did some pretty good vacuuming over the weekend, I'll be honest. So like, nice. I don't know if vacuumer is a job.
Yeah. I mean, made.
Only of dog food pieces.
My vacuumer is coming tomorrow. Cool. Well, I have a 2.5-year-old and she's discovering movies. Sunday mornings we watch Son of Godzilla, but like she only watches like 20 minutes before she's like, I want to go do something else.
Sure.
And the other day it was, I don't know, it was like really hot and it had been a long day. And we're like, do you want to watch a movie? And she's like, yeah. And she likes the song Let It Go because they play it at school. We're like, do you want to watch Frozen? And she's like, yes, I want to watch Let It Go. We're like, all right. So we sat her down and I just hit play on the movie and she watched the whole damn thing.
Really?
And now she just wants to watch it over and over and over again. I had never seen Frozen because when it first came out, our neighbors got the soundtrack living in a little LA apartment and they were blasting that song over and over and over again. So I already have like a flashback triggering PTSD from Frozen repeat fatigue. And now I have to live through it again, but the whole goddamn movie. And the movie's super mid, like really just blah. Like it's just fine. Let It Go is a banger. I will give that to him 100%. if that's your jam, I'm not saying it's for everybody. I'm sure people are like, that song sucks. Whatever. It is a musical hit. A hit. Hands down. Well sung, well written. It's uplifting, whatever. The rest of that movie is a beat for beat ripoff of Beauty and the Beast without any of the cool shit that happened in Beauty and the Beast.
What about the male lead that seems like he's the male lead, but then he turns into an antagonist?
Would have been cool if they did it coolly, but instead,
it was almost a weird thing where you're like, oh, wait, what? Like, then you're like, was I not paying attention?
Yes,
was he a dick the whole time?
The entire movie, he's like, I'm a really nice guy. I'm a handsome prince and you love me. And then she's like, oh, I'm freezing to death. I need true love's kiss. And he's like, tee-hee, I'm a bad guy. Bro, if you had waited 20 minutes, she'd be dead and wouldn't have tried to escape. The fact that you're like, I'm a bad guy, I'm going to let you die in this room alone, is the reason she tried to escape. All you had to do was keep your mouth shut and pretend to be a nice guy for another 10 minutes.
That's not how bad guys work, though, especially in movies, right?
But his whole plan didn't hinge on telling her he just had to wait it out. What an idiot. And
are you saying the logic in a movie that involves a special educational snowman who's alive? There's you have a problem with that?
The troll song, Fixer Upper, is one of the worst songs Disney has ever.
Oh yeah, and that whole thing makes no sense. The fact that there are even trolls involved, it's almost like they I don't know, the Troll Corporation put money into the movie and they're like, just make sure you put trolls in there. Well, that doesn't go with the rest of the movie, but okay.
But it seems like that happened, and then the Troll Corporation was like, oh, actually, we're going to make our own shitty franchise, so you can't use trolls anymore. So then they had to make knockoff trolls, because they all look like trolls, but then they were like, just make them rocks. We can't afford rainbow hair, so get them and jeweled bellies. We can't afford that shit. Get them the fuck out. Now they have to be rocks. Stupid as fuck. Stupid. All the song beats don't make any sense after that. The Snowman song about summer's funny. Hey, you got a good funny song in there. Great. But think about Beauty and the Beast. The beats. The villains have songs that explain their villainy. There were no villains in this movie. I like that it wasn't about a princess. I liked that the princess the whole plot wasn't like, I gotta fall in love. I liked the ideas behind it. You just didn't follow the beats of making a movie that, movies have beats. This happens here, this happens here, this happens here. And if you don't follow it, you still have to do things in a way that makes a movie work, right?
Sure.
And
yeah, I agree. It does feel a little disjointed. What about
the
little sister who misses her big sister? You like that? You don't like that
great.
plot?
That's fine. That's what the plot is fine. That's the thing. I don't have a problem with the plot. It's the if you're going to
the execution of the movie.
If you're going to do the beats of Beauty and the Beast, you need to take those lessons of why does the song Gaston work? Well, it shows that he's an asshole, but then it also explains what the villain's plot is. We're going to go kill this beast. Fucking baller. Go
kill the beast. That's a different song.
Well, anyway, it's still a good song. Also,
I can't believe that you said it explains that he's an asshole. That song, the song about Gaston explains how fucking cool Gaston is.
The dude eats raw eggs for breakfast every day.
Yeah, and picks up 3 women on a bench at once. Even I would swoon for that.
You're right. Gaston has a little chubby for
Gaston. I like Gaston is an awesome villain, but also kind of cool. He's really not a villain. He's just a dick. He's just a bro. He's a jock. He's a 17th century jock. That's the only thing he did wrong. He's a jock. I would watch a Gaston spin-off movie like that instantly.
I suppose. But today he's like, hey, how's your crypto wallet doing, man? What are you trading in? You got the Ethereum going? What are you doing? Dogecoin? He's a fucking...
yeah. He would have a man bun for sure.
Fuck yeah.
He does kind of have a man bun a mad little ponytail, doesn't he, in the movie?
I don't remember.
I think he has a ponytail.
Anyway, I'm just saying,
I love Gaston.
Frozen didn't hit the beats for me, and I look, Let It Go's fine. There's some fine stuff happening. I'm glad my kid likes it and she's really into it. And again, as far as Disney princesses goes, this is a better one to look up to than Ariel, who's like, fuck yeah, take my voice and give me legs just to get a man. You're like, oh boy, come on. Shit.
Well,
you got to think about that stuff when you're a parent now. What is my kid gleaning from this? Are they like, this is fucking cool? Or are they like, oh, I need a man. I'm nothing without a man. And you're like, oh,
see,
God,
and
no.
I'm trying to do the same lessons from the same time frame, but in a completely opposite way, because Kent is watching Ninja Turtles, and some of it is vintage for the original show, Generation 1 Transformers, Star Wars,
Ghostbusters animated series.
Ghostbusters, but
Yes.
Ghostbusters at least is zapping ghosts with a fictional zapper. Luke is killing stormtroopers. Ninja Turtles have weapons, and they do everything with the weapons. Transformers shoot things to the point where I once watched them get covered in a landslide, like a rock slide fell off a mountain and covered them, and they got out by shooting the rocks off of them with their guns. Like, how hardcore is that? So, like, he wants to play all this shit, and like me and you, I remember playing guns. We called it guns.
Oh.
We would go out in the backyard and play guns, and we'd run around and shoot each other.
This is my snubby.
And we're not like, I will at some point think that that's okay, but I don't really want him doing that right now. He's 4.
Sure.
And Amanda doesn't even want him to understand the basic concept of a gun, let alone own a gun, let alone run around with one. And I don't debate that at this age. I might at some point, but I don't debate it right now. But it's so fucking prevalent in culture. You know, it's like, it's you give him a toy, and then I'm like, well, should I take the blaster out of Boba Fett's hand? Because the Boba Fett uses that blaster to kill people, right?
But
like,
remember
that's
this.
what
Remember this. In Frozen, for example, there's a whole scene where dudes are aiming crossbows at Elsa, and like, you know, it's menacing. Sammy has no clue what's going on.
Right.
And I'm like, should I be explaining this right now? And I'm like, no, she doesn't know what I'm talking about. She doesn't get it. Explaining a gun to her doesn't matter. There's no point in that. And like, at the end of the day, like, you're right. When you go back and watch what we were watching, it's like, it's no fucking wonder we have a gun issue in America. We're just like, everything was like,
yeah,
just gone nuts. It was crazy.
But I don't think that fucked our generation up. Like, maybe.
I mean, there's plenty of other things that fucked us up. That's again, it's small straws, man, but they all add up. They all add up, and you know, you add in an economic crisis and the globe falling apart. Yeah, of course we're fucked up. The cartoons were the best part about it.
Well, that is not, all of this stuff is super interesting, but it's not what you texted me about the other day.
Yeah, dude.
Well, not the other day. You didn't text me the other day. You texted me last night.
Yeah, I got excited.
And we live
this.
on different coasts. And you texted me last night. And I knew we needed to record an episode. I figured we'd do a What Have You Been Watching? Today was my last day of school, so it was a shit show. It wasn't bad, but it was crazy busy. I don't know when I thought we'd do an episode. And you texted me, and I don't even know like how to read it because I don't know the tone. What tone did you text me in? Like, what were you trying to?
Huh. That's an interesting question. I've never been asked to frame a yo, you want to record tomorrow night? I have a fun, simple topic to bring up. I catalog all my movies, 513 titles, and have some interesting data to report. And you're like, that seems low to me. I mean, probably. And I was like, what topic? Are you just like,
did I say that to you? That seems low to you?
Yeah, that seems low to me. And I was like, yeah, you'll enjoy the data on my catalog. That's the tone. I'm proud of the data.
When you're handsome boys, best friends like me and Rumi, that's the kind of shit that you text from each other.
Oh, you send me lightsaber videos.
Oh yeah,
you just go swing,
lightsabering. Yeah. Oh, by the way, remind me to tell you because I might be able to get you a really good deal on an excellent lightsaber, like really good, and then we could.
Oh yeah. Swing it up.
Yeah, let's pause the episode. Talk about that. All right, so 513 titles. Is that what you said?
Yeah, of physical media. I also have digital.
513 like DVDs,
Blu-rays,
or Blu-rays, whatever.
Yes.
Is that film and television, or just film?
Just film. I did not get into all the Band of Brothers, the Ninja Turtles, the Ghostbusters. No television.
Cool. All right.
Just film.
So hit me with this. 513, that's commendable.
So I cataloged it in Letterboxd, which is a cataloging service and a way to like, keep track of the films. It's like a film diary. Super fun. I'm on there. You can find me, Zomnambi. It's fun. Anyway, so 513 titles, and you can organize it by different criteria. And I did organized by Letterboxd average rating. So this is all the idiots who are on Letterboxd. They rate titles, and I organized it by their ratings. And the top 50 were interesting, but the bottom 50 were very interesting.
So what you're saying, when you say bottom 50, these are the bottom 50 movies of your 513 that
worst rated
have the
films.
lowest rating by users on Letterboxd.
By users on Letterboxd. Check this out. Check this out. So there are 7 Friday the 13th films in the bottom 50.
That's pretty good.
Half of the franchise is on the bottom 50.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay.
What's the lowest one? Can you guess? The lowest rated,
of the Jasons, or the lowest period
of the Friday the 13th films. It often gets hate.
I'm gonna say either Manhattan or the new. What's the one with that doesn't have Jason? The one that has the other guy in it.
Oh, The New Beginning, part 5.
Yeah.
But both are on there. But it's Jason Goes to Hell is the lowest one.
Really?
Right? See, this is why this gets interesting, because I'm like, really? So in resending order, the lowest one is Jason Goes to Hell. Then Jason Takes Manhattan is higher than Jason Goes to Hell. I'm like, really? And then Jason X, and then New Beginning. But it's like, and then the New Blood. I'm super confused though, because it's also like Jason X is not that bad. I mean, it is not lowest of the low to me. Not in the bottom 50. Also, the remake is down in there too.
I wonder if that's people who like the original formula, because Jason Goes to Hell is a much different flavor than the previous 8 movies, more or less, right?
Sure.
It's got a much bigger production value. There's a lot more going on to it. They way overcomplicate everything and subplots and shit like that. They really kind of stray far from the original mold. So I wonder, and same with Jason X, I wonder if that's why people are less excited about that than some of the others.
Exactly. So here's the other interesting thing. There's 3 Freddy films on here, and one of them is Versus.
Who's on Letterboxd?
A lot of people, man. Freddy versus Jason is the highest of the lowest, but it's still on there. And then Nightmare on Elm Street 5, and then obviously Freddy's Dead. But like in the bottom 50, like here's some of the things that it's dragging around with. The Crawlers, aka Contagion 7.
Yeah, I love that movie, but okay.
But I mean, I understand why that is the 4th worst, the number 4 in my bottom 50.
Yeah.
Right next to it is Quigley, which is a movie about Gary Busey turning into a Pomeranian.
Why don't I own this, let alone have seen it?
It's terrible.
Is it, what year?
2003. When a rich practical joker dies, he's reborn as a dog, which he uses as another chance to right the wrongs he never did as a human. Gary Busey. And not like Gary Busey. This is 2003. This is whacked on drugs, brain damaged Gary Busey as a Pomeranian.
So his prime is what you're saying. Yes. After that Buddy Holly fiasco.
Yes.
There's a movie called A Talking Cat with a question mark, and it stars, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It stars, what's his name? Roberts as the cat. What's Julia Roberts' brother's name? Why can't I remember his name?
Why would I know that? What is
an actor?
The Lone Ranger's nephew's horse's name?
What's the girl who's got slightly cross-eyed, but she's hot and cute, and she was a terrible actress, and she was in Scream. She's one of the bad girls in Scream.
Bella
Emma
Thorne?
Roberts, is that a person?
Yeah, Emma Roberts is a person.
Is she an actress?
I don't know.
Was she in Scream?
Yes. Yeah.
Her dad. Why can't I remember his name? Fuck.
I know who you're talking about. He's in a bunch of bad movies.
Yeah.
Roberts, that guy. I did a movie with him. Anyway, what were you going to say about it?
Eric Roberts.
Of
He
course,
does the voice. He does the voice of this cat in
Question
this movie
mark?
called A Talking Cat. And it sounds like they essentially had him record it on his cell phone and then send it in. And every line he says is totally disinterested. Now, he's voicing a cat, so that kind of tracks a little bit, but he could not be any less in the movie than that if he tried. I now want to see a movie where that talking cat does a crossover with a Gary Busey Pomeranian, because that would just be, can you imagine the team up that would be?
You know what
Eric
the
Roberts.
35th worst film on here is?
The talking cat.
No. Trailer
Scream,
Park of
whatever.
Terror.
Which one?
Trailer Park of Terror, which you worked on.
Yeah.
Again,
Damn.
not that bad.
No, again, this is also a microcosm. It's a cross section of films that were released, because these are movies that you own. We're
yes.
not talking about movies that you've seen. We're not talking about American cinema. We're talking about movies that Aaron McLean specifically owns, right?
That I own and other people have rated. Yeah. There are 6 mummy movies on here, 3 of which are Aztec mummy movies, which is a franchise, and there's
Right.
only 4 Aztec mummy movies, and 3 of them are in the bottom 50.
Is The Room on there? You don't own The Room, right?
I don't own The Room, no. There are 2 Chucky films, Seed of Chucky and Child's Play 3. Again, weird.
In the bottom 50?
In the bottom 50. Child's Play 3? No way. Like, okay, what's a movie that they think is better than Child's Play 3 that I'm going to say no fucking way? Child's Play 3 is better than... No, I guess not. I was going to say Child's Play 3 is better than Friday the 13th Part 3, but that's not true. Child's Play 3 is better than Curse of Chucky.
Yeah, I agree.
Child's Play 3 is better than Evil Ed, the movie about the shitty film editor.
Film editor?
Yeah.
You brought that to Shitty Movie earlier.
I own that movie. I gave it a 1.5 stars, and it is sitting way higher in that. Child's Play 3 is better than Eurotrip. Come on. Child's Play 3 is
you
better.
own Eurotrip?
Oh, yeah. Scotty doesn't know is a banger.
Is it good?
I like Eurotrip. Well, again,
It's a sequel to Road Trip, right?
in that same vein. See, the thing about comedies, though, is none of them age well. Like,
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Eurotrip was fucking hysterical when I was in high school. And if I watch it now, I will still laugh at the jokes that made me laugh
Sure.
then. But I will also go,
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Did anyone see me laugh at that? Yeah.
exactly. Like, one of my favorite movies of all time is Waiting. That does not age well, but still fucking hysterical. But
You meant favorite comedies of all time. It's not one of the favorite movies. of all time,
favorite comedies. I mean,
Okay.
but again, it's like Super Troopers, Waiting, Eurotrip. That was a whole era where my sense of humor was being developed, and those movies made me fucking laugh.
Right. You were 16,
Yeah.
and that was 16-year-old jokes. Yeah.
Land of the Dead. They say that's way better than fucking Child's Play 3. Come on. I don't know. Anyway, I love Chucky movies. I can't believe 2 of them are down here. 2 huge franchises have something in the bottom here. Alien Resurrection is in the bottom 50.
Oh, I'd put that at number 1 of the bottom.
Resurrection?
Oh, sorry, not Resurrection. I was thinking Covenant. No,
Oh, yeah,
Resurrection's fine. Resurrection's
fine. Alien is in the top 50, in the top like 10, which
Okay.
is funny that you have one in the top 10 and one in the bottom 50. It's super weird. So the worst one that I own is called
Like literally the worst, number 513.
513 is Robot versus the Aztec Mummy 1958. It is gold shitty movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I feel like that's not, I've seen it. I feel like that's not, I mean, I guess when you rate a movie, like when you or I rate a movie like The Aztec Mummy or The Room,
Yeah.
are we rating it on production of a film, or are we rating it on how much we like to watch it? Because The Room is a terrible fucking movie, but I would watch it every single day. So it's like, if I write a review on that, am I writing a good review or a bad review, right? If you're just giving it stars.
Exactly. To me, Robot versus Aztec Mummy is a 3-star film. Because is it good? No. Am I having the best time when I watch it? Every time the cardboard costume of the robot comes on screen and he can't get through doors and he can barely walk and he's about to fall over and everybody in the scene is like, is this robot about to fall the fuck over? I crack the fuck up. I have the best time watching this movie. I have better time watching this movie than I do watching some Oscar contending films. Like, come on, right? The one next to it, the number 512, it's called Gamera Super Monster, and it's from the early Showa era of Gamera.
Showa era, right? Yeah.
Have you seen this? Did you watch it yet?
Which one is he fighting? Who's he fighting in that one?
All of them, because it's the rehash movie. It is the last
it's
film.
The clip show?
It's the clip show. It's the last film in the Showa era Gamera series, and the whole thing is like, hey, remember that time you fought this cool monster? And they're like, yeah, let's remember that. And it's just all chopped up clips of his other movies all put together. And then there's like 10 minutes of new footage and that's it. It is terrible.
Yeah. So technically I have seen that one. Just it's separate, separate pieces.
Yeah. You really don't need to see it, but that's worse than Crawlers apparently.
And again, like Crawlers is a shit all movie, but it's fun as fuck to watch.
Hysterical.
You know?
Yeah. With the right group. Howard the Duck is like really low too. But to me, it's like Howard the Duck is stupid fun. It's terrible, but it's
also
fun.
You believe the fucking duck the whole movie. Like, even if the movie is terrible, which I don't subscribe to, there was a person in that duck, an animatronic puppeteers using that, making that face move and shit. And I think you buy that just as much as you buy Chewbacca or somebody. You know, like it's essential that you believe that duck is a duck that whole movie. And I feel like it worked.
You know what's smack dab in the middle?
Howard the Duck 2, The Reckoning.
No. Even weirder. But to me, on the same page as Howard the Duck.
Garbage Pail Kids.
No, that is one of the worst films ever made. That deserves to fall off the list. Fuck that movie. I can't handle that movie. We could talk about Garbage Pail in a second, but I want to reveal it's Tammy and the T-Rex, smack dab in the middle
of 513.
Of the 513, it's right in the middle. It's right next to Rocketeer.
That's the fulcrum of the 513 movies. That's the exact middle.
Which is like, what the fuck?
Who now I want to have like an evaluation of all these other people who are criticizing these movies.
I know, right? And like, I get it, because Tammy the T-Rex has a cult following of people who are like, it's really fun because it's bad. But like, when you're letting these other movies fall so deep, but Tammy and the T-Rex has risen in the cream of shitty films. I mean, what? That blows my mind. And it's like, I love Rocketeer, but the fact that like it's next to Tanny
anywhere
and the
near
T-Rex?
Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex.
Yes.
What about do you have Boogans on there?
I don't own Boogans.
Humanoids from the Deep?
I have Humanoids from the Deep. That's actually, I don't know how to tell you like where it is in
specifically,
in
but yeah, it's not in the top, not in the bottom.
I think it's higher in the bottom. It's on the lower side, but it's definitely not deep fucked, bad.
Do a list of the bottom. Start at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. Start at 500 and read 501, 502, 503.
Okay. Okay. Deck the Halls is a Christmas movie with Danny DeVito and
that you were like, you know what? I need that in my collection. Here's $20.
It came in a box set of other Christmas movies, and I wanted Jingle All the Way.
Okay. Which ironically enough is right next to it on the list.
Yep. No, actually not. Gamera versus Zigra.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Gamera movies. Yeah, there's a bunch of Gamera movies. How many Gamera movies are in the bottom? 3 of them. Then Jason X, again, I'm not saying Jason X is great, but deserves to be in the bottom 10? No. The Lost in Space remake from 1998, which people hate this movie. And again,
I didn't even know anyone saw it, let alone bought it on DVD.
I mean, I don't know why.
It was in a box set of Lost movies, and I wanted Lost.
I don't know why I have this movie. I don't know why I have it on Blu-ray.
I wanted Lost in Translation, so I bought the box set.
Freddy's Dead. Yeah, that movie isn't good, but still, again, that's a well-respected franchise. I'm surprised people have hate on it so much. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, the Godzilla 1998 American remake.
I can understand that.
Howard the Duck is lower than that. All Monsters Attack, Godzilla, which, yeah, that movie, that's one of the worst Godzilla movies. The Hellboy remake from 2019. Now, this was one of the ones that surprised me the most because, again, I'm not defending that movie. That movie was, but I didn't think it sucked balls to be in the bottom 50 of anybody's list.
Right, like you wouldn't describe it as the bottom of something.
No.
Right? You might say it's not that great, it's not worth watching. I mean, clearly it's worth buying on DVD, but
given as a gift for Christmas present. But yeah, I mean, I liked it enough. Like I walked away being like, well, I like the Guillermo del Toro ones way better. But that's a Hellboy. Just make more Hellboy movies, please.
But if Grandma gets me this on Blu-ray, I'll keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. Then Jason Goes to Hell.
This isn't nearly as good as Howard the Duck, but it's not nearly as bad as
they're like
Jason Goes to Hell.
It's 3 movies away from Howard the Duck. So, Jason Goes to Hell, which I understand why people would hate that movie, but also it's not that bad. It's better than Jason Takes Manhattan. Crawlers, Quigley, Gamera, and Robot versus the Aztec Mummy.
All right.
Do you like the Garbage Pail Kids? Since you brought it up,
I just was trying to think of a movie similar to Howard the Duck. I haven't seen that movie in probably since college.
Yeah,
that's one of those movies where at this point, and I'll tell you about my collection in a second. At this point, I don't know how many. I don't know if I have that movie. I might, but I definitely haven't seen it probably since college.
It's real bad. It's so bad, and it doesn't know. Like, just when at first you're like, this is gold shitty movie.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And then it gets boring, and then it starts singing songs, and then it's like, wait, who are you for? What is this?
Right.
Fans of the trading card? I doubt it. Kids? Yeah. Absolutely not. It starts with these bullies literally trying to drown a child. And you're like, what?
You mean good bullies, like they're professional bullies,
professional, like greaser ass bully. It's so weird. Again, and it goes on way too long. And then like the Garbage Pail Kids, the Launchpad Kids, the Garbage Pail Kids become insufferably annoying. And you're like, oh my God. So yeah, it is.
I would love to watch that movie with you just to see how annoyed you got.
How annoyed I get. Yeah, because it is.
That would make it entertaining for me.
It swings back and forth from being shitty movie gold and then shitty, like almost like, I don't know if I can finish this shitty movie. It's bad. Oh, it's so bad.
What's your, hit us with like the start at number 13.
Oh, go the other way?
Yeah, go back.
Okay.
Go down to count it down to 1. I'm going to say Godfather, Star Wars. You already said Alien. Maybe Indiana Jones. Citizen. I mean, I don't know if Citizen Kane would be on the list for regular people as opposed to like.
So here's the thing, though, and we can talk about this because this goes into collecting DVDs. I don't own Godfather. Don't own it because that's not going anywhere. If I want Godfather, I'll be able to go buy it.
You had to jump on that Lost in Space DVD. You were worried that they'd pull that from shelves.
I've spent $80 on a DVD if I thought it would never come.
Oh,
back.
Sure. I'm in the same boat. I get it.
They will re-release Godfather a million times. Godfather's probably at the library in some form. I can find Godfather if I'm dying to watch Godfather. I'm never dying to watch Godfather. So in the top, all 3 Lord of the Rings films.
I would unsubscribe from that service, whatever fucking letterbox nonsense.
I don't hate Lord of the Rings. I have nothing against it. I actually think it's a huge achievement in film. I think what they achieved, good for you. Hats off. You did it. You made
Good for you.
You did something that people said was fucking possible. You made it. Too bad it's just as boring as the fucking books were. I mean, you did it just like the books guy. Man, you nailed it. Man, it was really cool to see those orc armies, but real boring to have to sit around and watch you guys walk everywhere to get there. Like, fuck me. Did you have to make it that boring? Fuck.
Why'd you get it on DVD? That's why I can't get over it.
Because it came in a box set and they were dope. I mean, look, visually, okay. Lord of the Rings also has really good special features.
Yeah.
And again, CGI wise, model wise, it changed the game. And the special features really go into how they made those movies. That's fucking cool. But in the upper echelon, it's all about directors. It's all about directors because it's like 3 Tarantino films, 2 Kubrick films, 4 Scorsese films, 2 Ridley Scott films, 2 Spielberg films, 2 Nolan films, 2 James Cameron films, and 3 Sergio Leone films. Like the surprise one that's up here for me in the top 50, Hot Fuzz. People really like Hot Fuzz, I guess.
More than Sean?
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently.
Do you own Sean?
Yes.
So on Letterboxd reviewed Aaron McLean's 513 lists.
Yep.
Hot Fuzz was higher on the list than Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. Weird.
I can't understand. Of everything that you've said today, I understand that the least.
That's the one that maybe surprised me the most. I'm going through and like the top 50 are like, yeah, I get it. So I'll do the countdown like you said. So here's 5, 10, 15.
But wait, I don't want to jump off Shaun of the Dead yet. Like, I understand. I think you could talk about which Freddy's or Jason's or whatever are the best or the worst or give arguments. And I think if I don't understand your argument, if I don't agree with your argument at all, I think I could understand that like everyone has their favorite or you really like what they did with Jason Goes to Hell or not. But like Shaun of the Dead is by far, I think, the more accessible film for the average film goer. I don't mean a zombie buff. Because Hot Fuzz was their action film, right? Their action murder mystery film. There's nothing wrong with it and it's fine. But I do not remember it a quarter as well or a quarter as fondly as Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead is 15 films lower than Hot Fuzz.
That seems wrong to me.
You know what else seems wrong? Shaun of the Dead is one above Bride of Frankenstein, which isn't in the top 50.
Yeah, something's wrong with Letterboxd. This is AI. Beep, boop, beep. I understand these movies. Beep,
right?
Boop, beep.
So here's the top 15.
Right.
We'll go real quick.
Okay.
Once Upon a Time in the West. Good movie. Fight Club. Fine. Silence of the Lambs. A concert film, Queen Night at the Odeon, which it's a fucking awesome concert.
Like a documentary, not a
exactly. It's a live concert that they filmed. It's great. It's fucking great, but still
Top
not
15.
a movie.
All right.
Anyway, The Thing, John Carpenter, great. The first Lord of the Rings, the second Lord of the Rings, Apocalypse Now, Handmaiden from 2016, which I always sing the praises of this. This is one of my all-time favorite fucking favorite movies. Park Chan-wook directed it, and it is so good. So I'm happy it's up there. Empire Strikes Back, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Goodfellas, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Get the fuck out there. The Dark Knight, and then City of God, the Brazilian masterpiece, is number 1. Fine. I'm happy that's there. I love that movie.
Interesting pick for number 1, but
it's one of the highest rated film, even on IMDb. It's really highly rated. I mean,
and wait, what was number 2?
The Dark Knight.
That's like when I talk to like some idiot who's young and they're like, you know what my favorite movie of all time is? The
Boondock
Dark
Saints.
Knight. And you're like, wait, what did you say?
Boondock Saints.
But at least Boondocks, like, yeah, but that is Boondock Saints is really just the Dark Knight of, 15, 20 years earlier, right?
For sure.
But it's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's baller. And you can even make the argument that it did things that other things didn't do as well or as good beforehand. But like the best? Number two out of 513?
I've only seen the third in that Nolan trilogy once. It was awful to me. I hated that movie so much. It was terrible. I've watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight a couple times. The Dark Knight is great, but Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight is better than anything else in The Dark Knight. That movie doesn't hold up as a Batman film because it's more about him being a rich asshole. And like at the end when he's like, I can use cell phones like bat sonar and I can see and you're like, what? This is stupid. This is people would just rip that apart nowadays. But like Heath Ledger as the Dark Knight surprised everybody by turning in one of the best performances of a villain of all time. I'm not saying that people will argue about Joker this, Joker that, but I think he put in a performance of a villain that's one of the best of all time, and it surprised people. They didn't expect him to be able to do that. They didn't expect it to be that good, and it holds up. He chews up every scene he's in. Fucking awesome. But as far as more Batman movies I need to see, it's not sticking up there at number 2 between Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that's the second best action movie.
No.
There's great and there's the best. You know what I mean? To be the best of something.
I know, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. The best action movie I have on here, let's see. What do people think is the best? I mean, there's Westerns. T2's high up there. Star Wars is high up there. The Matrix. But like one of the ones that surprised me because I'm like, where are the shitty, like what's the highest shitty movie that I have? And like, I wouldn't say it's a shitty movie, but like 8 Diagrams, Pole Fighter, and Evil Dead 2 are in the top 50. And Evil Dead 2 is kind of schlocky, so that's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't think I like Evil Dead 2 that much. I like Evil Dead 2 a lot. I fucking love, I mean, I have a whole shrine to Ash Williams over here. But like, as far as in my top 50, I don't know if Evil Dead
of
2,
movies, period, right?
Yeah.
Cinema.
Yeah. Like Ex Machina to me is a better film than Evil Dead. But as far as like horror films go, sure. Like, sure, maybe. But like it does
very much seem like a pop culture list or like, like a college kid list or something like that.
Well, here's the thing about, and it makes me think about that exactly. It's like when it's popular opinion of people clicking stars and none of them are experts in this or that. How valid is it? Is popular opinion valid for a movie to be like, yeah, a bunch of people like it, so it must be good, right?
No, because then it's also the thing of like, when you're clicking stars, like we said for, shit movies, like The Room, are you clicking on how much you enjoyed watching it or how bad the movie was? You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So exactly. You'd have to define that first for me to take that as any sort of like actual honest review, or not honest, but I guess like a correlated review. Because if 10 people are clicking stars and 5 of them are clicking them based on the movie, the quality of the movie, and the other 5 people are doing it based on how much they like the movie, you can watch The Room and you can give it 1 star and be like, this was a shitty movie. It was so funny to watch. And someone else could do 10 stars to be like, this movie's a piece of shit, but I would watch it every day. You're still saying the same thing, but you gave it 2 different ratings,
Right? Isn't that wild? Yeah, because it's like, to me, The Room is a 1-star film that I have a lot of fun watching when there's a group of people. But like somebody who said The Aztec Mummy is the worst film they ever saw. Yeah, you're right. But weren't you laughing? Wasn't that hysterical? Right. Like, it's interesting to me what drives 4 stars versus 3 stars, like what makes it. And to me, the way I try to pick it is, if a movie's fun, if I'm kind of indifferent, I give it 3 stars. If it's not like, yeah, they made a movie, it's competent, but I'm not thrilled with it, but at the same time, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad that I own it. That's usually 3 stars for me. if there's something about it that was like, that was way too long, it starts getting less. If I had a lot of fun with it, it gets higher, you know? So, you know, it's about, I don't know, I go for the enjoyment, not necessarily the cinematic expertise it took.
Sure.
Because, yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of movies that I had the best time with. Miami Connection is a terrible movie, but it's one of my favorite ones to watch because you just have you're laughing, you're having a good time. It's a good message. Everybody's happy. Come on.
Everybody's happy. So, all right. So based on your text, this is not exactly what I thought we were going to talk about, but that's okay. But before I tell you what I thought you meant, talk about DVDs for a second. You just said
I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Go ahead.
Godfather, right? This is what you were going to talk about. You're saying that Godfather is prevalent. They'll always release another edition. You're never going to run out of Godfather physical media, so you can get it. So you feel in that case you don't need to get it. You don't need to buy it because you have access to it.
Well, I used to feel that way, but so here's the thing: like I dumped coin to get a movie called Prometheus, Lord of the Living Dead, The Fallen Angel, which is terrible, but you will never find that again. It does not exist. Like like the Shaw Brothers films that I just gobble up. Nom, 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 nom. I'm worried that they will disappear.
Yeah.
The way rights are and stuff. But in college, I bought everything because I was just hounding up like, oh my God, every horror movie I could, I'd buy it. Every Western I could, I'd buy it. And then Netflix came out and, I can just get them all on DVD and they send it to my house. I guess I don't really need to buy this stuff anymore. Hey, great. Okay, cool. Until very recently, that was the case. If I wanted something, I have enough streaming services. I can usually find what I'm looking for.
Right.
No problem. Except recently, the streaming services started taking things down because they suck. And I'm like, what the fuck,
1 star.
guys? I thought we were Gucci. And they're like, no, bro, we're not Gucci. We're barely even fucking Goodwill right now. I mean, come on. Here, I'll put that in terms that you understand. Hey, what happened, man? I thought we were Sideshow. And they're like, nah, man, we're not even a McDonald's toy right now. Like, they're yanking stuff off the streaming services because they don't want to pay people royalties that they're owed for making popular things. That's trash. And so now I buy every DVD I can and cancel my streaming services.
Okay, but you're not buying Godfather.
No, because I also am not the biggest fan of Godfather. I don't think I've ever been like, oh fuck, I gotta watch Godfather today. But there's times where I'm like, I better throw on Bride of Chucky right the fuck now. I'm gonna pop. Gotta do that.
I agree with that. Although I do feel like, oh God, I gotta watch Godfather, but probably not as much as Bride of Chucky or something similar. So let me ask you this. Take a movie that I know you like, right? Like RoboCop or Evil Dead. But let's take RoboCop, I think is a good example.
Yeah, I love RoboCop.
You own RoboCop?
I own like 6 copies.
I was just about to say, that was my next question, is if you own it on, let's just say physical media, DVD, or let's limit it to disc, right? DVD or Blu-ray or Laserdisc, not VHS. Do you legit own of the first RoboCop, not 2 or 3 or the TV series?
I don't know. I only own the first one in multiple.
And you have multiple editions?
Yeah. So I have. It used to be the only way to get the director's cut was in a Criterion edition.
Criterion one. Oh, I know.
Criterion edition was 4x3.
Whoa! Push my glasses up.
No, 4x3 is garbage. That's a little square shit for people.
The fact that you're talking about format.
Anyway, so
I have that DVD. I didn't know that because I haven't watched that one in forever. But okay,
yeah, I got that, and I was super excited to watch the director's cut. And it was the first time I had ever seen all the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Then I got a DVD, the next release of it, but the quality of that DVD is terrible. Then I got a Blu-ray of it, and then I got a Steelbook Blu-ray of it.
Is any of those the Arrow release?
I think it's the Steelbook's Arrow, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think you like RoboCop as much as I like Predator, the first Predator.
Dope.
I have Predator. I must have at least 3 to 4 different editions of just the first movie. Yeah. It's got to be I mean, I could name 4 editions right now, so it's at least 4. If they release tomorrow another edition that had anything extra that wasn't in one of these other editions, and I mean content-wise, I don't mean it has a better transfer or it's fucking 4K or whatever.
Yeah.
I would buy it. No problem. No sight unseen, I don't care. I would buy it. That, Aliens. There's a handful of movies that I'm a sucker. Warriors. I'll buy every edition of Warriors that you make as long as it has something extra. It could have an extra intro from the director. It could have an extra interview, a deleted scene, or it doesn't even have to be giant. It doesn't have to be we unearthed the such and such cut, or we unearthed the X-rated version of a Jason movie that everybody's been, nobody's ever seen that assembled. Doesn't have to be that bad or that big. I would buy Predator that has a retrospective where Arnold Schwarzenegger today sat down and talked about his time doing it. Boom. I buy it again.
No interview can make me buy anything. Not a single interview. I don't care about interviews.
So what would you need if you love RoboCop? You already have X amount editions of it. If they were releasing another one tomorrow, you would not be on board unless
better quality transfer, because here's a problem that they had. Every time the picture quality got better, the original VFX got worse because they didn't transfer them properly.
Sure.
And when they look cleaner, the stop motion looks worse.
Okay.
So if they remastered the special effects in it to look better, that I would buy that.
Okay.
More footage. I don't think there is any more footage for RoboCop. But if there was more footage of that guy getting shot on the table for another 2 minutes.
Well, what if they said it was an extra 3 seconds of him getting shot in that sequence that was previously unreleased on any other edition? Would you buy it solely for that?
3 seconds is pretty small, but maybe, yeah.
Literally just those squibs going off. No other context, no different angles, nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing that really adds to the film or adds to the experience.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay.
Because again, like I want good looking picture, the best we can get. I'll take that. And I want extra footage. And if the behind the scenes, like, look, if there was an interview that's like, here's how we did, like, here's how we made Ed 209 work. That's worth seeing. That's
like something that's completely new and hasn't been discussed before. Is that what you mean?
Even then, I probably wouldn't buy it just for an interview. Definitely not. Definitely not. Because most time when people go out and get an old interview, people are like, I don't really remember. I can't tell you how many times I bought a DVD for the special features and been really disappointed.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think I'd say that, but I still do it. Like if I don't do it as like, because of, like you said, of Netflix and availability and shit now, I'm starting to be like, well, it is Predator. And if I don't get this edition, I'll get another edition later, Plus, I just have so much else I have to buy.
I know, right? But again, it's like, especially with these kung fu films, as the transfers get better, I want remastered stuff. Like I really
sure.
Master of the Flying Guillotine is one that I have a shitty transfer of, and it looks terrible. But like I recently was trying to do my own homebrew remaster. I ran it through all the VFX shit that I have to try to make it look better. It looks like 1% better, which I'm proud of, but it's still not great.
Yeah.
Well,
last DVD question. Will you buy if they release, like for example, I don't have a 4K TV or a 4K player because it's there. You need it, right? You can't just have a regular
you have
Blu-ray.
A PS5.
Does that do 4K?
Bruv.
Oh, well then good. I'm buying 4K stuff from now on. My question is, would you buy a physical media for a player / screen that you didn't necessarily have? So if they had if they released a version of the movie that was the pinnacle at the point, even if you were incapable of playing it at that pinnacle, would you still buy it as like a collection and so that you had it? Or would you wait until you had the TV or the players that would support that?
I think I would always have the vehicle to play.
Okay. I would too. I just wouldn't know I did.
No, I think I would always say, but like, I mean, right now people will buy. I mean, I had records and I didn't have a record player for a while, but like we liked the art on the records, and a record is big enough like you can mount it on your wall and you're like, look at this cool record I have. But then it started feeling kind of weird because I was like, I can't listen to it. So I bought a record player and that was cool. But like, I think there's a lot of media completionists that people will buy stuff even though they don't have the, but again, I think it's almost retro. Like people will buy games even though they don't have a CRTV to play on old systems.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting thing. But again, that's collection.
Yeah, because that turns into I'm doing this for the feelings of it, not necessarily for the enjoyment or the usage of the product itself.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, again, I will always buy something that's shitty that I'm afraid I'll never be able to find again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Something that's good that I'm like, I'm sure I can find it. I'm sure it's out there.
I always have that luck of being like, oh, this is a DVD of a movie that was made in 1973, and it's the only DVD that's ever been made of that. It's been out of print for 25 years. And it's this niche movie that only I know about. All right, eBay, here's my $50. And then next week they're like, brand new Blu-ray edition. And you're like, you motherfucker.
How I got the uncut version of Jason Goes to Hell is I had to buy a German DVD that was boxed together with Jason X. And I had literally just bought like Jason 1 through blah in a shitty box set that they sent out a long time ago that you could get at Best Buy. But I mean, they were Blu-rays and the movies.
I know the one you mean.
Yeah. And then they put out that gorgeous box set that had everything and unearthed VHS footage from part 3. Yeah. And this and that. And Matt, like I had to buy that. Like that box set was juicy, man. That
was the Shout Factor, Scream Factory, right?
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that was a nice set.
Really good set. But
that was one of those that I felt like you, where I was like, I already have all these movies in at least one other way. And although this would clearly be the definitive set at the time, it's not going anywhere. And I was like, pre-order. I was like, I don't really have the money for the pre-order.
Yeah, I could not do it. Yeah. And now they know that they have me and they're just like, hey, you know how you're addicted to buying Shaw Brothers movies? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, here's another $100 box set. And I'm like, God, no, damn it. Damn it.
Can you at least pace yourselves so you're not like hitting me in two different genres at the same time?
Fucking Shout Factory, man. They literally released box set 1. I bought it. It got to my house. And then they're like, how about box set 2? And I'm like, I didn't even get to watch this one yet. At least Arrow Video, when they released their Shaw Brothers box sets, they're like, we're going to wait a year or two before we put it out.
They're like, your dealers.
You. Yeah.
They're your dealers.
And I can tell that like Arrow is a respectful dealer. They're like, hey, we're going to let him have fun with what he's got. And then we're going to hit him with something better. Shout Factory's like, you want some more? You fiending, you little fuck.
Yo, man,
like,
you want some?
Yeah, they know.
I got that Shaw Brothers shit, bro. I got that Shaw Brothers.
Give it to me. I mean, it happens.
You want me to tell you what I thought we were doing for this assignment?
Please do.
So let me get my notes here. Your text said, I have a fun, simple topic to bring up. I cataloged all my movies, 513 titles, and have some interesting data to report. I didn't realize you were beep boop beeping on websites that beep boop beep others beep boops. I thought you just looked at your collection and kind of categorized your collection.
Oh, yeah.
So I went out. So I'm not allowed to keep my DVD collection in the house because it is large and my wife doesn't want to see it. I would put the TV in the middle of a shit ton of shelves so that you would see all of the Blu-rays and DVDs around it.
Yeah.
She hates that idea so much. She doesn't want to see it. And every time we've lived together, we've lived together since we've been together. But like every time we've gone to a new place, she has made it like, okay, if you have some of them in this room, it has to be a closable cabinet so I don't look at them. I don't know why she hates physical media so bad, but right now I have, I think it's 3 or 4 essentially like wardrobe, like IKEA wardrobes in the garage. and they all have 5 or 6 shelves, and I've all double stacked each row with DVDs and Blu-rays. So like 15 minutes before we started this episode, I ran out there and did like a quick counting one shelf and multiplying it an appropriate time for an estimate. My overall of just films, not TV, overall of DVD and Blu-ray films is about 1,274. Roughly, give or take,
yeah.
Right? Then when I thought you said you have interesting data, I thought you categorized those. So I broke those down further into the categories that we have them in out there. And those are shitty, sci-fi, action, drama, comedy, and family. And then I also have like Asian cinema, documentary, Western. There's a couple other small categories like that I didn't even tally. Which one do you think is the biggest?
Shitty.
Obviously. Roughly 294 shitty movies, DVDs and stuff. The smallest one I have is comedy with 100 DVDs. Action is 171, which I thought was low, but then I think about 171 DVDs of just action. Sci-fi.
Wait, you said comedy was your second biggest?
No, comedy is my lowest.
Yeah.
So my highest category was shitty with 294, and comedy was 100. Oh shit! I didn't do horror. What a dildo! I didn't do actual horror. That's got to be probably second biggest. Shit! I kind of want to like run out and do it really quick. Can you filibuster?
Not that long.
It's got to be over 100. It's got to be over 170 because that's what action is. Sci-fi and family are both. They're both roughly 147, and drama is 122.
Yeah, I have 159 horror films.
Yeah, I have action is. I have 147 family. I have to have more, and I know that I have like almost 300 unaccounted for by that tally. That's what it was, that I forgot to do actual horror. I just did shitty instead of horror.
And I have 176 action films.
It's pretty good, man. I thought I would have had more, but I guess when you think about 150 DVDs, that's a lot of fucking media, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fuck ton. Fucking love it though. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
yeah, I do too.
For me, it's like I buy some. My favorite movies are the ones that take me on something, take me on a ride, make me have an excitement. I don't necessarily want to think or feel. When you watch a movie that's like, I don't know what, Moonlight won the Oscar a few years ago. It's like, yeah, that's a really good movie, but like, man, it makes me feel bad, makes me sad.
Man,
I don't want to feel that. I just want
to put on that Howard the Duck action.
I want to watch the Aztec Mummy and laugh at this stupid fucking robot costume. I watched the new Spider-Man movie. I actually went to a movie theater for it.
Ooh.
Spider-Man.
No spoilers. I heard it's amazing and everyone's really loving it. I'm excited to go see it.
I really liked it. I really, really, really did. Does not need to be as long as it is, but it's fine. Sure. None of it made me mad that it was that long, but at the end of the day, like, I gotta pee. I'm an old man. I drink a big old chug-a-lug of Sprite, and I'm like, oh fuck! How much longer is this movie?
I hope you ordered it as a big old chug-a-lug. Let me get some Raisinets and popcorn, and could you just put 2 squirts of butter on, please? And let me get the big old chug-a-lug of Sprite.
Right, please. Yeah, ridiculous.
Can I get a Sprite?
It was really good.
What size do you want?
Big old chug-a-lug.
One right there, the big old chug-a-lug. That's the large, sir. Yeah. Let me get one of those.
Yeah, but in movie theaters, large is as big as my head.
Yeah.
They're like, I was like, is that for the popcorn? And they're like, no, that's for your soda, sir. I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, give me that. All right. Free refills, right?
I saw Fast and the Furious, and I just called it. It's just such a big, loud, dumb movie, but it's exactly what I want it to be. It's fun. It's stupid. I've never, like, I honestly would have to think. I can't think of a time where I've seen an actor have so much fun in a movie than Jason Momoa playing the bad guy in this. He's just so over the top. It's fun. And he's just like, his character makes no sense and is stupid and who gives a fuck. But like, he's just having such a great time. It's like watching like your kid play soccer and your kid's just laughing his head off. And you're like, oh, that little idiot's having the best time of his life. That's how I felt about Jason Momoa in this movie.
I've only seen the first one. I've never seen a Fast and Furious past the original Fast.
You don't need to see the movies per se. Just watch some scenes.
I guess. I mean,
you know, like there's a couple action scenes that are well worth watching the movie just to get to that scene. But like, do you need to, like, you don't need it for context. You don't need it for character development. You know,
I guess
this movie had reveals where a character would pop up and I literally would look at the person next to me and be like, was that person in one of the previous installments? Because I don't, and I've seen them, don't remember, because it's just all I remember. The couple of car chases and the couple of fight scenes. Otherwise, who gives a shit? It's the same shit.
It's the same shit every time. Yeah, I guess that's what YouTube's for, right? YouTube, beep up, dear YouTube, please show me the best scenes.
Oh, I buy every edition of the Fast and the Furious movies.
And this is why you have
and then I'm going to buy the box set
that your wife won't let you.
No, I only own one, which was I think 6 because there was 2 or 3 ridiculous freaking sequences in there where I was like, I will own that for that. I need to own that for that.
That's hysterical. I keep trying to sit down and watch them, but I'm like, I watched the first one. I was like, oof. All right, fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Well, it's fine. I think the first one was trying to be a movie. The next couple are like, all right, we got these people. They're going to talk about being family. A bad guy's going to get involved with them. They'll fight the bad guy.
5. See, so I've done enough research to know it's not till 5 when it gets good. I got to suffer through 2, 3, and everybody's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, but yes, I do.
Yeah.
Like, I have to because I don't know. The same reason why I have to buy all these movies and do all this stuff. It's like I can't just hop in the middle.
Watch them while you're on your computer looking on eBay or doing homework or prepping something or budgeting a movie. And then just look up when you hear fights or engines revving. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a movie where you're like rewinding because you missed a line. You know what I mean? You're not going to be like, wait a minute. What did that person say that sounded like emotional development for their character? Nope.
We got a Tokyo drift, so let's go to Tokyo. Let's do the drifting there and get some good food while we're at it.
Look up like, okay, I'll put my computer down. Look up already.
All right. Well, maybe. We'll see what happens. Definitely not in the top 50 of the films I don't own.
At this rate, you could have a 50 just of Fast and Furious.
I know, right?
Right? There's almost 50 of them.
They're just never going to stop, right? Jesus. Crazy. Well, guys, tell us what movies you own. I want to see the entire list. List them out. Email them to us. The entire list, all 1,000.
Yeah,
titles,
everyone.
Every single one of them. Don't skip a single one. Organize them in descending order of year released, but sorted by genre
and color.
Oh my gosh. Super fun. Yeah. Tell us what you like. You can see my list. It's on, like I said, it's on Letterboxd. Zomnambi, Aaron McLean. You can find me there. Some of our listeners follow me on Letterboxd and we share lists, I guess.
Sounds intimate.
Oh yeah. Bring that sex appeal to sorting movies. But in the meantime, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at LaunchpadPod, and our website, launchpadpod.com. Super fun. Rumi, let's blast this thing off. Till next time, we're the Rocketeers, and we're out.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.